Today is day 4 in the Brian Walshe trial, and the first witness we have today is William Fastow. He was the real estate broker who sold Anna and Brian their DC home. He met Anna in 2022. He never met Brian Walshe. He only talked to Brian on the phone. Anna and Fastow continued talking after the sale of the house and quickly became lovers. He was separated from his wife. Anna and him would go out to dinners, they'd go to the bars, they'd go sailing, and they'd go on fitness dates. Anna was very active and into fitness, he said. Anna had a home gym, and she went to yoga classes. They saw each other 2 to 3 times a week. They spoke daily. He said that she used social media. She posted on Instagram a lot. He asked if she lived in the townhouse. He said yes. She stayed the night at his house frequently. She fully furnished the house quickly. She furnished the kids' rooms because she was anticipating that she would be able to bring the kids and Brian to DC soon. He never met the children. She told him the children were living with Brian. And this is because Brian was only allowed to be home on house arrest because he was the primary caregiver of the children. It upset Anna that her children were not with her in DC. Anna couldn't get insurance because Brian was on house arrest. Anna was deeply upset and troubled by the children not being there, according to him. William Fastow did not keep his relationship with Anna a secret. They socialized with his friends, but they did not socialize with her friends. Their relationship became more serious in the summer of 2022. He stopped seeing other people. They started spending holidays together. They spent Thanksgiving together in Dublin, Ireland. Anna went to Serbia after to visit her mom. They spent Christmas Eve together. They had dinner with his friends, then spent the night together, and she left the next morning. He said her flight was canceled, but that's actually not true. She canceled. She just didn't go to her flight that day. Anna drove back to Massachusetts that day. She told him Brian and her had an argument about her staying on Christmas Eve. They planned to celebrate New Year's together on the 4th. They planned to go to New York. He was in Idaho from the 27th to the 1st. He communicated with Anna while he was in Idaho, and then they admitted text messages between him and Anna into evidence, but they didn't end up reading any of them. The thing I thought was weird is they allowed him to just print off the text messages and give them to the police. They didn't actually extract them from his phone. He said the text discussed intimacy and their trip to Dublin. He planned to return from Idaho on the 4th. He was planning to celebrate with Anna on the 4th, like I just said. They discussed what a life together would look like and how to merge their 2 families together. His last contact with Anna was a Happy New Year's text at midnight on New Year's. The following day, he sent her photos of his kids and several text messages. He called multiple times, even called her on a landline to see if she blocked him because his phone calls were going straight to voicemail. Brian then called him January 4th. He said he didn't answer because he was worried Brian found out about the affair and was going to confront him. Brian called again and then left a voicemail. They played the voicemail. Basically, just in the voicemail, Brian was asking him if he's heard from Anna because she's missing. He didn't sound like he was angry or anything, so it didn't sound like he knew about the affair. He immediately called Brian back. He told Brian he was concerned that he could check the house in DC to see if she was there. He went in the garage, and there was no car in the garage. He said there usually was. He told Brian he didn't think she was there, and he hasn't seen Anna Walshe since December of 2022. And now we're on to cross-examination. He met Anna in late winter/spring of 2022, introduced to her by Jim Molto. They quickly became confidants. He was dealing with a separation and a divorce. Him and his wife had been estranged since November of 2021. He had 2 sons. He doesn't remember exactly when they became intimate, but he's saying probably spring of 2022. Anna and Fastow had conversations about their future. There was no plan to tell Brian about this affair, though. He reviewed his grand jury testimony. He told the grand jury there was no plan to tell Brian. Anna had told him she never wanted Brian to find out unless she was the one telling him that would absolutely devastate her. They never went to dinner with any of Anna's friends. They only socialized with his friends. We went over that in direct. He said he did go to a work event with Anna, but he was there in a professional capacity. They weren't there as dates. And then she asked him about what her hours were, And he said she worked 9 to 5, but sometimes she would have to stay late and she had work events. And then they asked him about a text he sent her in December of 2022. Apparently, Fastow's son said that he would be devastated if Fastow had brought Anna around like any girl. He was not ready for his dad to be in a relationship. Anna had told him that she cared deeply for Brian Walshe. Police asked him if he knew if Brian had discovered the affair. He said he didn't think so. And then he said he actually deleted messages between him and Anna that he found were embarrassing. But he did not turn them over to the police because they just let him print off his messages on the computer. That was the end of his testimony. Don't forget, give me a follow. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this trial.